Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads: breaking hearing social media bill, lawmakers begin public hearings, Nigerians protest. Before we go into the details proper and further analysis, we do like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. The group is asking, that's Nigerian group is asking lawmakers to resist and shut down the bill, noting that it contradicts the constitution. A group coalition of civil society organization for protection of civil space has staged a protest at the entrance of the National Assembly in Abuja against the passage of the controversial social media bill. The group is asking lawmakers to resist and shut down the bill, noting that it contradicts the constitution. The Senate Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters is holding a public hearing on the bill to enable stakeholders to make input, even though it has been widely rejected by Nigerians. Addressing journalists at the ongoing protest, Ariyo Dare Atoye said that the bill was aimed at shrinking the civil and media space. According to him, this bill is draconian and antithetical to freedom of speech. Our lawmakers should face their legislative business and stop chasing shadows. You cannot fight corruption by gagging social media. It is a bill in bad faith. Nigerians reject it. Convener of Free Nigerian Movement, Raphael Adebayo, described the bill as crude and primitive, adding that the new law was unnecessary. He explained that the Cybercrime Act of 2015 has addressed many issues raised in the new bill, such as defamation. Adebayo maintained that the group would continue with the struggle until the bill was abandoned by the lawmakers. All right, that's the news. Let's quickly get one or two feelers from Nigerians over the same issue. This one here is saying Nigerian lawmakers are confused. They don't know what to do. This one here says next level of madness. You make law and abandon the law. Where is the freedom of speech? Or do you want to replace that with Ministry of the Bokos as a Boko Haram? This one here says, God bless you people for staging protests against the barbaric bill. Okay, but that's how much we can take on the feelers on this issue. Let's quickly look take a breakdown of this same issue, social media bill. This is an overflogged issue. I could still remember when Lai Mohammed was interviewed internationally on international media. He denied ever knowing such thing. In fact, he said, why should it? There's no such thing as anti-social media bill. No, nothing like that. And now they are beginning to start again. We keep saying it in this channel that this issue of social media bill is a way of finally shutting the mouth of Nigerians generally, so that that's the last weapon now Nigeria has. Because the other time they were proposing another bill to ban protest in a democratic setting. Nigerians. That's the same Senate that last year they brought this to the $2.7 billion loan that was rejected in the 8th Senate by President Saraki, the then President, Senate President. He marked it dead on arrival. Said this is not possible. Some of these things are pending. That there's no way that Nigeria is already in heavy debt. Bringing such debt will not fly. Shehu Sani was still in that chamber. They all unanimously agreed that they won't sign that loan approval. They rejected the loan approval, and they give the reasons why they had to approve it, that it was urgent and all that. Now that's the same loan approval that they brought to the 9th Senate. That tenure has gone, 4 years has gone. Somehow Nigeria survived whatever Father forgive me, but rubbish they dished out to Nigerians. We survived it. And now they brought that same loan request in 2019. Nigerians shouted. 2020 they have unanimously agreed. When Senator Baribe tried to asked the floor, say, please, we need to look at this thing segment by segment, stage by stage, step by step, and sector by sector, so that we can know which to approve, which not to approve. It looked as if Senator Baribe was talking too much. In fact, President Lawan of the Senate President said he was practicing partisan politics simply because he wanted to ask questions that demanded answers. The reason why the senators were placed there is because their constituency believed that they have the capacity to represent them properly. Now, all of a sudden, the same loans that were rejected by the previous senators, Senate, I'm talking about the 8th Senate, was approved hurriedly, and making even the so-called legislators like an annex of Aso Rock. Now, if it's an annex of Aso Rock, that means we are really not practicing the democracy of 3 arms of government. What we have is 1 arm, the others are annexes. So is that democracy? That is giving absolute power to a particular arm. And it's beginning to play out. Now, the masses' voice may not be, let this not look like, I tell you, let this not look like the loan of $22.7 billion that they said Nigerians said they don't need, what they need money for. Nigerians are indebted. Nigerians said no. The 8th Senate said no. Only for them to hurriedly, they didn't even want media to hear it, hurriedly passed it and approved it sharp. So Nigerians will be owing heavy debt. Internally, Nigeria is owing all the internal loans that even the government have gotten from Nigerians. I'm talking about the financial instrument like a treasury bill. That's like treasury bills are like short-term loans given to government to help them, whatever project they want to earnest, buy Nigerians with a bit of interest that will be paid later. A lot of them have accrued. I'm talking about some of them already ranges in billions already as we speak. Plus external loans gotten from China, from India, all sorts, all walks of life, all sectors, keeping Nigeria heavily indebted. Some of these loans gotten, the projects are not even performed. And these are the things that are paining Nigerians generally. And this same Senate, knowing that Nigeria is heavily indebted, still keeps approving. And now they've come with this social media bill. Nigerians from the beginning rejected it. I guess what they wanted to do, according to Lai Mohammed, he has said that he will see to it that this bill, whatever it will take him, he will see to it that it is being passed. So what they did was like, the way it is going, Nigerians are shouting, let's calm down. They have ranted, let's behave as if we have forgotten about it. So now, this whole thing started way back in September, October, it became so high sometime in November, and they shut it down. Now it is not, they now started bringing it up now in March, where Nigerians must have forgotten about it. Imagine, a situation where they now pass it. A lot of them will begin to say something like this issue of fake news and all that. If you begin to do anti-social media bill, there's no way you can pass news, because there's some certain sensitive information that, quote and unquote, government channel will never bring it public, will never make it public. They rather look the other way. But the public have the full right to know what is happening per time. Now, if the anti-social media bill is being passed into law, what it means is that for every news you pass that they don't want it in the public space, in the media space, in civil space, cyberspace, that's those persons or the platform or whatever that carries that news may be tagged fake news under the anti-social media bill, and they will be liable to either debt or fine or both, as the case may be. And if they keep doing that 1, 2, 3 times, one of your 2 of your colleagues dies, everyone stays clear of true news. Every sensitive abego, then at the end of the day, we are in full-time anarchy, where you talk, you die. You don't talk, you die. Generally, everyone dies. But that's not how we met Nigeria. And now that they have started this, now I say kudos to this civil organization that have decided in the very first day of public hearing to say, look, from the beginning, but the question is, do the Senate hear the voice of Nigeria? Because I just realized that they're actually an annex of the executive. So whatever the executive deems fit that is good for Nigeria or good for themselves, say pass it into law. They pass it into law. They don't even bother to ask Nigerians, what do you think about this? Why would you? Even the other time, Aisha also made mention of the fact that that even China, if we go by China, Mrs. President, first lady, you may not be able to cope. They have their stringent rules. Let's go by that China rule. I love the China rules, man. Where it means that China, Japanese rules, where every corrupt practices, if you are found wanting, even if it is 10 years ago, 100 years ago, they look through your profile and they find out that you looted, you stole in the tune of $100,000. You'll be liable to jail. Sometimes death sentence is the penalty for fraud and every fraudulent activity. Your family may likely go in for it. So if you want us to go through that China move, no problem. Let's bring everything of that China to Nigerian law. Where, okay, if you say anti-social, let's moderate at the social media bill, fine. But also let us bring that stringent policy and bill for all corrupt practices. Everyone who is found in public office or in political office who have defrauded the country one way or the other and is being investigated. Even you investigating, if they find out that you're an ally or you compromise your investigation, you also go into prison. Everyone is sanitized. Yes, we like it. Let's bring all the China rule into Nigeria. Don't carry one half and leave the other half. How? It's not done anywhere. Let's do the proper way. But that's what we are seeing now. We're beginning to see that the people we are putting there to represent us are misrepresenting us. I just hope and pray that this social media bill will not be passed into law. Honestly, if we do, this is full-blown anarchy. I pray that all well-meaning Nigerians all over the world should rise. This is the time to use the social media handle like never before. Say again, retweet, speak against it, because honestly, Nigerians will suffer. Because everything that will be happening in Nigeria, it will die here in Nigeria. It will not see the cyberspace. And Nigerians will be suffering. This time around, they will not be smiling now. But that's how much it will take. What do you think about the social media bill that has begun the public hearing? We'll keep giving you updates on it as it keeps moving. Stay tuned.